A quiet revolution is underway, subtly but powerfully reshaping the landscape of global education as we know it. In recent years, thousands of ambitious young Iranians have begun choosing the Philippines as their destination for higher learning, turning away from the traditional pull of the West. Instead of heading to the familiar academic hubs of London or California, these students are setting their sights on Manila and Cebu, forging new and unexpected connections between two cultures that once seemed worlds apart. This movement isn't about students settling for less. Many of these Iranians are top achievers, drawn by stories of a warm, welcoming culture, affordable living costs, and the promise of high-quality English language education that rivals the best in the world. The Philippines offers more than just academic degrees. It offers a sense of belonging, a place where students from all backgrounds can find community and support. For Iranian families, the decision is about more than prestige. They're seeking a safe, supportive environment where their children can thrive, grow, and feel at home, even thousands of miles away. Enrollment of Iranian students in Philippine universities has surged, especially in fields like medicine, engineering, and business, where the country's institutions are gaining international recognition. The pull is powerful: community, opportunity, and a genuine sense of home. Here, students find friendships that cross borders and experiences that shape their futures. This shift challenges the old narrative that the best education is only found in the West. It's a reminder that excellence and opportunity can flourish in unexpected places. Sometimes the most valuable lessons come not just from textbooks, but from places that offer acceptance, connection, and the chance to build a new life. For these students, the journey is about more than academics. It's a story of hope, resilience, and the universal search for belonging and human connection. This is the story of that journey, a journey that is changing lives, and perhaps the future of global education itself. For Iranian families, sending a child abroad is a huge decision, one that is often discussed for months, sometimes even years, before any action is taken. It's a choice that involves not just logistics, but hopes, dreams, and the future of an entire family. For decades, this decision almost always meant aiming for the West, places like the United States, the United Kingdom, or Canada, where generations of Iranian students once sought world-class education and new opportunities. But today, the dream of Western education has become far more complicated. Political tensions between Iran and Western countries have led to stricter visa requirements, frequent rejections, and a growing sense of uncertainty. News headlines warn of changing immigration policies, and families worry about their children facing prejudice or isolation far from home. The financial burden is another major obstacle. Tuition fees and living expenses in the US or UK have soared, making it nearly impossible for many middle-class families to afford. The stress of securing scholarships or loans adds to the pressure, and the dream can quickly turn into a source of anxiety. In contrast, the Philippines offers a different promise: affordable, English language education at respected universities, where international students are welcomed with open arms. Here, the cost of living is manageable, and the quality of education is recognized across Asia and beyond. Students discover not just lower costs, but a culture famous for its warmth and hospitality, what Filipinos call pakikipagkapwa-tao, a deep sense of shared humanity and community. This spirit makes it easier for newcomers to adjust and feel at home. Iranian families hear stories of their children being truly welcomed, not just tolerated. They see their sons and daughters making friends, joining campus activities, and building support networks that last a lifetime. The Philippines becomes a home away from home, a place where students can thrive both academically and emotionally, growing in confidence and independence. It's a pragmatic choice, rooted in hope for a better, more inclusive future. Here, students are valued for who they are, and diversity is celebrated, not just accepted. The result? A growing wave of Iranian students choosing the Philippines for opportunity, community, and peace of mind. Each year, more families make this decision, inspired by the success stories of those who came before. Here, they find more than a degree. They find belonging, lifelong friendships, and a sense of purpose that extends far beyond the classroom. For many, the choice is clear. The Philippines is not just a backup plan, it's a place where dreams can be realized and futures can be built. The Philippines is not just an alternative, it's a new beginning, a fresh chapter filled with hope, growth, and endless possibilities. And that's why they come, seeking not just education, but a brighter, more welcoming future for themselves and their families. Meet Kian, a 19-year-old from Tehran, whose mind is filled with dreams of becoming a civil engineer and building a better future for himself and his family. He's always been curious about the world beyond his city, wondering what life might be like in distant lands. Like many young Iranians, Kian once imagined studying in America, picturing the iconic campuses and endless opportunities. But his family's concerns about strict visa policies, the high cost of living, and the fear of isolation in a foreign land made them hesitate. After many heartfelt conversations, they began to consider the Philippines, a place less familiar, but full of promise. His uncle, a doctor who had trained in Manila, painted a vivid picture of the Philippines, a country where people are warm and welcoming, where English is spoken everywhere, and where education is both affordable and of high quality. The stories of vibrant city life and friendly faces sparked hope in Kian's heart. After weeks of weighing options and imagining different futures, Kian finally took a leap of faith. With his family's blessing, he packed his bags and boarded a flight heading east, his heart pounding with anticipation and anxiety. The farewell at Tehran's airport was deeply emotional. Tears were shed, hugs lingered, and promises to stay in touch were whispered. As the plane soared into the sky, the flight became a blur of nervous thoughts and hopeful dreams for what lay ahead. Arriving in Manila, Kian was immediately struck by the thick, humid air, the vibrant chaos of jeepneys weaving through traffic, and the endless sea of unfamiliar faces bustling around him. Everything felt new, loud, and overwhelming. English signs on the streets and buildings offered a small sense of comfort, a reminder that he could communicate, but almost everything else felt alien and strange. Clutching his university acceptance letter tightly, Kian reminded himself why he had come. He had left behind his family, lifelong friends, and the familiar comforts of home, all for a chance at a brighter future. The reality of his new life hit him hard. The airport arrivals hall was a whirlwind of noise and movement, and Kian felt small and overwhelmed in the crowd. Sitting alone on a bench, excitement quickly gave way to a deep sense of loneliness. The adventure he had dreamed of suddenly felt daunting and uncertain. Yet, as he stepped out of the airport and into the city, determination flickered in his eyes. The adventure had truly begun, and with it, a host of new challenges to face. Kian was now a stranger in a strange land, wandering the busy streets of Manila, searching for his place and purpose in this unfamiliar world. But as he gazed at the Manila skyline, hope began to outweigh fear. His journey was just beginning, and anything was possible. Manila was a maze, noisy, crowded, and bewildering. Kian's classroom English struggled to keep up with local slang and Tagalog. Simple tasks like shopping or asking directions became daunting. His dorm was a lonely refuge. His Filipino roommates were friendly but distant. Homesickness hit hard. He missed Persian food, familiar jokes, and being understood. Academics were tough, and fear of standing out kept him silent in class. He called home often, trying to sound brave, but his mother sensed his struggle. The dream felt heavy, and doubts crept in. Alone in a sea of faces, Kian wondered if he'd made a mistake. Just as Kian was losing hope, small acts of kindness changed everything. In the library, a classmate named Miguel noticed his struggle and offered help, patiently explaining tough concepts. At a market, a vendor guided him to the right stall for Persian ingredients, refusing payment and simply saying, "Welcome." His dorm mate invited him to a family lunch where he was embraced, fed, and treated like one of their own. These gestures, sharing notes, a meal, a smile, chipped away at Kian's loneliness. He realized communication was more than words. It was about patience and open hearts. The Philippines began to feel less foreign, more like a community. Each act of kindness rekindled his hope. He started to see the country not as a challenge, but as a place of generosity. The warmth he'd heard about was real. Kian's world slowly brightened. He was no longer invisible. He was beginning to belong. Encouraged by kindness, Kian stepped out of his shell. He joined Miguel's study group, where his ideas were valued. Sharing Persian sweets, he discovered cultural exchange went both ways. His friends introduced him to Halo Halo. He found a small Iranian student community, celebrating Nowruz and sharing tips for life in Manila. This support gave him the confidence to embrace Filipino culture more fully. Kian joined the International Students Association, helping organize a cultural exchange week. At the Persian booth, he shared his heritage, breaking stereotypes and building bridges. He was no longer just receiving kindness, he was giving back. The shy newcomer became a confident leader, comfortable in both worlds. Manila's chaos became familiar, he found his voice and his place. The Philippines was now his second home. Kian was thriving. In his third year, a powerful typhoon threatened Manila. For Kian, the storm was terrifying and unfamiliar. As the city braced itself, Filipino students led the way, sharing flashlights, securing windows, and keeping spirits high with stories and songs. Inspired, Kian helped organize a group to check on vulnerable Iranian students, bringing supplies and moving belongings to safety. In the chaos, cultural lines disappeared. They were simply a community facing the storm together. Afterward, Kian joined relief efforts, distributing food and helping with cleanup. He witnessed Bayanihan, the Filipino spirit of communal unity, in action. He was no longer an outsider, but a leader and neighbor. The crisis forged deep bonds. Kian had become part of something bigger than himself. The storm tested them, but it also united them. He had truly found his place. As graduation neared, Kian realized his greatest lessons weren't from textbooks. He'd learned in the library with Miguel, at the market, and during the typhoon. Engineering, he saw, was about building communities, not just structures. The typhoon cleanup taught him more about civil service than any class. He now dreamed of creating resilient, sustainable communities. The real education was in empathy, kindness, and cultural exchange. He became a bridge between Iran and the Philippines, sharing poetry and traditions both ways. His degree was a symbol, but his true achievement was the wisdom and compassion he'd gained. Kian was now a cultural ambassador, breaking stereotypes and fostering respect. The Philippines had changed him forever. Graduation day arrived. Kian crossed the stage to thunderous applause. His friends, Filipino and international, cheered him on. His family watched proudly from Tehran. He had arrived as a lonely boy, but was leaving as a confident man and global citizen. Instead of chasing a high-paying job abroad, Kian chose to work with a local NGO, building typhoon-resistant homes. He wanted to give back to the country that had given him so much. His journey had come full circle. The student had become the builder, the receiver of kindness, now the giver. Kian's story is just one of many, but it proves a powerful truth. The Philippines is a beacon of hope and cultural exchange. The real success of these students isn't just in their degrees, but in the bridges they build and the compassion they carry. They arrive seeking knowledge and leave as ambassadors of unity. In the end, a welcoming heart is the most fertile ground for growth.